Hi, I'm Joan Newcomb, and today's Mystic Minute is how to have a bigger perspective. When I was writing about this morning, my autocorrect changed it to prospective. And I'm looking at this going, what does prospective mean? And what it really meant was prospective, like somebody is a prospect or this situation is prospective. It's like taking something and projecting on it what you hope it to be. And we view our world through our hopes and wishes, and we also view our world through our assumptions and expectations. If we've had a difficult life, if we've had some bad experiences in the past, we'll view the world through those slides, and that's not really what reality is. A simple way to realize that you're viewing life prospectively or projectively is a better word for it, is if you're having really strong emotional reactions to it. If you are bouncing off the wall, more than likely you're being triggered, and whatever that is isn't necessarily real. And I'm kind of stopping myself as I'm saying that because I'm running through my mind all the really horrendous things I'm seeing on Facebook and Twitter about all the horrendous things that are happening to other people and out there. And you know, if you're standing there and being shot with rubber bullets, maybe this one doesn't apply. However, when you're viewing the world through your expectations and your assumptions or your projections, your preconceived notions, they distort what is really going on. When you drop those pictures, when you break through those pictures and see what's going on, often it's not as horrible as you think it is, or even if it's horrible, it's a relief. It's like, oh, finally, now I know what to do about it. I've been feeling really defensive and reactive lately because I like to get my news from Twitter, so I see people being attacked with bottles for their orientation and things like that going on, and I'm like, not a good way to start my morning, getting all riled up by things that are happening in other people's reality. And this is a really fine line that's going on here, because in the old days it would have been easier for me to detach from it. I lived on Vashon Island. I was a mystic in the woods. I could just sit back in my cabin and detach from the world. Now I'm in the big city and I have a lot more people that I interact with and that I live around. There's a lot more connections around the globe that I have more instantaneous contact with than ever before. And at one level, I'm feeling like I don't have the luxury to just detach, or that in detaching, I'm actually going into denial of all the terrible things that are going on. If I look at the part of me that is feeling this way, it's the part of me that's feeling really outraged, it's feeling really angry, it's feeling really powerless about everything that's going on, and that isn't the me that normally drives the bus. It's not the me with a bigger perspective and the overview of what's going on. When I can step back and observe what's going on, it's really quite amazing, because it's not just happening here, but it's happening around the world. So fascists are invading Syrian refugee camps in Greece and throwing Molotov cocktails on tents while they're sleeping. And racist neo-Nazis are popping up in Sydney, Australia. The extreme far right is politically coming forward in France. It's hard not to react fearfully to things that are going on. Any student of history can start going, oh, this is what happened in the 1920s, and you know what started happening in the 30s after what happened in the 1920s. When I look at this from a bigger, broader perspective, it's in terms of patterns, and it's in terms of evolution as consciousness. We are revisiting things, but we have the opportunity to respond differently. This happens in micro levels throughout our life anyway. Situations will show up in our life, and they may be similar to past situations, but we get to respond differently. We have cleared the original perspective, de-energized the emotionality off those projections. And when you see things clearly, you have the choice to respond differently. You can make empowered choices instead of reactive ones. The part of you that's making the empowered choice is different than the little you that is reacting, that is freaking out, that is defensive, that is blaming. It is your fault. I have so felt that way in the last week. That little part of me running wild. Stepping back isn't sitting back. Sitting back is like, okay, I'm just going to give them all a chance. I'm going to watch what unfolds. Get me some popcorn. Stepping back means you get to step out of the noise and the drama, observe it with a greater perspective, put it into context in the evolution of mankind, and then realize that this is all coming to light because it is in the process of disintegrating. They're still not the majority. They're just the loudest, the ones being given the voice by the media. It feels like they're powerful because they come across so dominating. And when you look at them energetically, there isn't really the foundation. It's very flimsy scaffolding because those aspects are disintegrating. Those false beliefs are falling away. And those that are reacting that way are reacting because their reality is dying. They are fearful because their reality is dying. There's no legs for them truly to stand on. Now it's going to seem like they're going to try to take all of us with them. And that's where we all get to step back and detach while they fall on their faces. How you regain your sense of inner peace, inner serenity, inner power. Step back and shift your perspective to the greater aspect of yourself that is consciousness. And then you can see what is happening and choose how to most powerfully respond. It might be making a phone call. It might be writing a letter. It might be standing out and supporting someone or speaking out. When you shift your perspective and start to look at it on a higher level, the 1,000-foot level, the 3,000-foot level, and you look down, it completely changes how you experience reality. What is going on in mankind and what is going on in culture and society, all of that is in process. It is temporary. A lot of extreme things are coming to the surface because they're in the process of disintegrating. As greater light comes into the world, it reveals what is dark and what is not true. And the untruth comes up. It can be very harsh sometimes. It is still in the process of breaking away, breaking down, falling away. When you shift your perspective and step back, you're really stepping into yourself, and you're stepping into the essence of who you are, your true self, which is infinitely wise, infinitely powerful. Always at choice, with infinite possibilities. And then you will intuitively know how best to handle any situation and also how to navigate yourself through these highly unusual times. If you like these videos, you can subscribe to them on YouTube. You can sign up below to get them in your inbox. If you want to know more, my website is joan-newcomb.com. I do these videos a couple times a week. I have a weekly blog and newsletter. I have a weekly radio show and podcast. I also do meetups around the Puget Sound in Seattle, Tacoma, Bellevue, University Place, and Lakewood. I do monthly webinars. And if you want to know more how to navigate your life as consciousness, how to carry this awareness with you into your everyday life, go to joan-newcomb.com and look at my coaching programs. So go to joan-newcomb.com and I'll see you in another couple days with another Mystic Minute.